I believe these tariffs, you can call it whatever you want in terms of trying to gussy it up. They're going to be paid for by our workers and small businesses. And all through the campaign, we heard they weren't, that foreign countries were going to pay it. I think that's baloney. It's going to be paid for by workers and small businesses. So, your response.
Yes, Senator, I would respectfully disagree. And the history of tariffs and tariff theory, optimal tariff theory, does not support what you're saying. Traditionally, we were to say, use a number that has been thrown around in the press of 10%, then traditionally the currency appreciates by 4%, so the 10% is not passed through. Then we have various elasticities, consumer preferences may change. And finally, foreign manufacturers, especially China, which is trying to export their way out of their current economic malaise, they will continue cutting prices to maintain market share.
Okay. I've been very concerned that countries like China manipulate environmental regulations. You point out that they're building 100 coal-fired plants over a period of time, and that whatever we do will not have an impact on global greenhouse gas emissions because China's putting up so many. I believe I've learned that is called an externality in economics. When we met, we discussed the foreign pollution fee, which would put a levy, a tariff on those carbon-intensive products coming from countries like China, roughly commensurate with their avoided cost of not controlling it. I would think that my Democratic colleagues would like that, because that's clearly a way that they are manipulating the world economy to steal jobs from the United States and simultaneously increase global greenhouse gas emissions. Any comments on such a foreign pollution fee?
This is a very good question, and I believe it is one for your Democratic colleagues to understand whether they would be in favor of the equivalent of a carbon tariff. That Senator Graham is in favor of it, and I think this is a very interesting idea. It could be part of a entire tariff program because I think President Trump hasn't taken office yet, but if confirmed, I look forward to working with him on various strategies, some that could be specifically aimed toward carbon, as you say, others that could be aimed toward unfair trade practices, unfair financing.
Can you give us your perspective on the impact that would occur in this country if we allowed this $4 trillion tax increase to happen?
This is the single most important economic issue of the day. This is pass-fail. That if we do not fix these tax cuts, if we do not renew and extend, then we will be facing an economic calamity. And as always, with financial instability, that falls on the middle and working class people. We will see a gigantic middle class tax increase. We will see the child tax credit halved. We will see the deductions halved. So it will be what we call in economics, it has the potential for a sudden stop. As I said, traditionally with these sudden stops, it falls on working Americans.